Cheers, friends. Here's drinking a good cup of coffee. Appreciate you. Hey, thanks for tuning in to York Firewood. Please like and subscribe to this video. We really appreciate it. Hey, I want to talk to you today about a hot topic that's on YouTube right now with other YouTube channels, and that is greenwood business. And what does it mean, and how, and does it affect us? The greenwood business, and whether you run a greenwood business or a seasonwood business, it's all about the profit. Keep the profits in mind, because that makes a huge difference if you keep the profits in mind. How do you define greenwood versus seasoned wood or fully seasoned wood? Well, let me say fully seasoned wood is, the way we define it, is not by age, it's not by graying of the wood, it's by moisture content. And we figured anything under 20% moisture content is fully seasoned and ready to be sold as fully seasoned firewood. Anything above that can be considered green wood or wet wood, whatever you want to classify it as. I would not use the classification as wet wood because it does not bode well in terms of interpretation from the general public. But greenwood is likewise. So I would sort of say it's not fully seasoned wood or not completely seasoned wood. And that's the way that we would classify that wood that's above 20% in moisture content. That's how we would define it. Now, if we had a greenwood or not fully seasoned wood business model, what would we need for that? Well, first of all, let's understand the nuances of a greenwood business, if you will. In the greenwood business, you do a higher turnover. You have to have customers that will buy green wood from you and who know that the wood is a green and that it's a higher content and may not be ready for immediate burning according to your classification. Also know that they probably should be aware that it may produce additional creosote in their chimney if that's the way that they burn it. But mostly, I have a guy where we get wood from, a tree service company, that they burn all their wood themselves, and they have a Cord King processor that they use for the entire family, and they use a lot of their wood for their boiler wood, and the boiler is outside, so creosote really is not an issue for them. But if they burn inside, it is definitely an issue for anybody. In the greenwood business model, you have to have it ends up being a high turnover rate, because all you do, you bring in the wood, you bucket, process it, split it, stack it, or put it in the dump trailer and deliver it. And it happens quick. So you turn it. There's no holding of the wood. It's not set aside to be able to season. You just basically turn it over very quickly. Now, there are guys out there doing 600 to 800 cords a year. And if you multiply that times $300 a cord, that ends up being $880,000. Is that right? Two zeros and one, two zeros another. That's, it's $180,000, isn't it? Holy cow! That's a big business. Now, also, you have to make sure that you have commercial equipment. You cannot make do with a box store splitter, for sure. You just can't, because your turnover rate, your production rate has to be so high. It's very process oriented. So the greenwood business is certainly process oriented. A lot of times, if you have a processor, that makes your life a lot easier in helping to process enough wood to get it done and maximize that. But we have a bundle business, and the price that we get per bundle is $8 a bundle. And if you look at what that is per cord, that runs out to over $1,016 per cord that we get at $8 a bundle. Now, we have to turn that over 180 times, our bundle business, and we do not have the number of locations that are required to be able to turn that over. So our business is really dependent upon the number of locations. Figure it like a vending machine business. If you have a vending machine, if you have one vending machine, are you going to make any money on that vending machine at now $1 a pop for a pop or a soda? Are you going to make any money on a vending machine? One vending machine? No, your money is made by multiple locations, and you repeat that in duplicatable efforts. That's where the money is. Now, do you want to have a money-making operation? Some people say they don't want to admit that they don't want it. They don't want to admit that they don't have it. But that's okay, because a lot of people are just hobbyists, waiting for the music to play. Anyway, a lot of people are hobbyists and don't worry about the money or making that much money. They have some spending money that they can use to go away on vacation, Christmas gifts, and et cetera. That's fine too. The only thing that bothers us that are a little bit more serious about the firewood business is the pricing that they have. A lot of guys look around and they decide what the pricing is of their bundles. And they said, well, I'm going to take a $5 bill, which is an easy piece of change, and just let people drop that, and that's my bundle. But their bundles are maybe less than a cord, 3/4 of a cord, 2/3 to 3/4 of a cord, sometimes a full cord. Our $8 a bundle, bundles are more than a. I say cord, I meant a cubic foot. They're those other guys are a half a cubic foot to 3/4 of a cubic foot to sometimes one full cubic foot. Ours are a full cubic foot up to 1 1/3 cubic foot. That's what our bundles are. Now, our bundles are made in such a way that we have a handle on it, which reduces the objection of having a larger bundle wood to carry. So you can carry 2 bundles of wood in your hand, in your hands between two. We're carrying two bundles without handles. You kind of have to hold it like this, But we put the handles on it because it makes it much easier to carry from the stand to the vehicle. Now, do we want to have a large business? Man, I tell you what, after being in the painting business for 35 years and trying to run my business to a point of being sustainable, we were a fairly sizable painting company with a very good reputation. And we decided that we wanted we fell into the concept, if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not growing your painting business, you're dying. And that same process, a thought process, can apply to a firewood business. But there's something different here. The fact that a firewood business is not necessarily just professional. Even though in the painting business, there were people that did it on the side, like firemen and policemen and all that. And some handymen do painting as well. But as a full painting contractor, we were dedicated to the craft of painting. In firewood, there are guys that are dedicated to the craft of firewood, and there are guys who just basically go out and get beer money and all. That's kind of the nature of our business. That was very much like painting business, but much more so in the firewood business. Our particular business model and the way Danny and I run our business, we're more like the guys that are hobbyists, even though we have kind of a serious business going on, because that's the way we look at it. Our basic outcome is we don't have enough volume in our business to consider ourselves full-time or even self-sustaining at this particular time. But we have to make some changes to make sure that we are self-sustaining. Now, one of the things that we decided to do basically for Danny and myself is, because Danny has Down syndrome and I myself am retired. I'm in my late 60s, and there are other guys in their 70s who are doing tremendously, but they don't have the health concerns that I have. that I have a heart condition and some other issues going on there. But I'm retired, and I don't really look at this business, although it's so tempting. It's so tempting to look at this business and want to grow it, because that's in my nature, my competitive nature, to be able to grow a business, and be the best at what we do. Not be the best in the area compared to others, but be the best for what we do and who we are. That's really what we try to do. So, but we can't really be the best at what we do because we're limited basically by Danny's ability and my ability. And as much as we'd like to do it, that's why we share ourselves on the video and on YouTube. Now, the seasoned wood business, which is what we're in. We have a seasoned wood business. We have a saying, our tagline is, we will sell no wood before it's time. So that means that we will only sell wood if it's around 20% moisture content or less. It's mostly our customer base is mostly for recreational wood, although it can also be sold for boiler wood, for heating, you can split that large or small. That's done. And if you're doing recreational wood and you're selling the larger boiler wood, that's a larger chunk of wood that certainly burns well, for sure. But we do smaller bundle wood. That's our business model, is the small bundle wood. And we use the small bundles. They're only about that big, about an inch and a half or 2 inches through. And here's a couple benefits to having that smaller wood. One, when they get to seasoned wood, well, first of all, it seasons quicker because there's less surface area or less volume or mass to be able to evaporate the water, the moisture from. Two is it tends to be a better flame than the larger logs. The larger logs will be more coal-oriented in it. So you'll have charcoal that will glow and will burn that way, be a slower burning process. The smaller wood tends to burn quicker, gives you a better flame, etc. As we say in our business, we offer the flame, not the heat. We sell you the flame. We don't sell the heat, because that's what our wood is known for. Technically speaking, the seasoned wood should carry a premium on it because it is sitting in your wood yard or in a yard for a longer period of time, for up to 2 years in the case of oak. It normally takes the season off. Now, we have an exception to that. Our wood yard is a wide open area, get full sun and a lot of wind in this particular area because we are a very windy area where we live. And it dries incredibly fast. I had wood, some oak wood. Now, believe it or not, we had oak, but we cut it so small that when I pulled it out, even from the bottom, it was measuring 18 to 19% after just being split for 6 months. So I tell you what, I was very excited about that. The fact that we cut it that small, that it dried that quickly. Now, the answer to people is to say, well, you got small wood. I said, well, I know that's a personal problem, but anyway, if it's a skinnier firewood, you can just put 2 in there to be able, 2 or 3 together will match one big log for sure. It'll take just as long to burn a larger piece, if not have a better flame to it. Will we ever be in the green wood business? I don't think so. Although we could, because it is very lucrative if you have the clientele to be able to turn it over. But here's the reason why. One, we have our logo, or our saying that we have in our business, that we will sell no wood before it's time, which means we only sell seasoned wood. So we say that up front. Secondly, we've developed the reputation in the marketplace of having very dry, very seasoned wood. And people have told us when we've seen them at our wood stand, we asked them, why do they buy their wood? He said, yours is very dry and very well seasoned, and it burns incredibly well. So that's a reputation we're building. Now, if I sold green wood, the question is, would I lose that reputation that it's taken a couple of years to be able to build up on. And I think it would. It would be confusing to the marketplace. So we're going to stick with, and it's our decision to do that, we're going to stick with seasoned wood. Now, how do we season it? Do you stack it or pile it? Well, we stack it, and here's the reason why we stack it. We stack it because my landlady gave us a land that is right up the side of her driveway, and she prefers to see something nice and neat, which is what she told us up front. We said, no problem, we'll just go ahead and stack it. So I have to do a stacking so it looks nice in her area. Now, to be honest, our logs are not stacked logs, and we need to take better care of stacking our rounds so that it looks nicer and neater. Right now, it looks like a mess, and I don't want. I need to do something about that going forward. The size of our delivery. Size of our delivery is we only deliver less than a cord. We only deliver half a cord or less. We will deliver a stack. Now, we define a stack in Pennsylvania. We have to identify what amount of wood going out in relationship to a cord, and a stack is basically a sixth of a cord of wood to a quarter of a cord of wood. So it does vary based upon when we're talking to people, how much do they need. Basic means a 16-inch wood that's stacked 2 feet by 4 feet is one stack. Double stack is 4 feet by 4 feet, which basically, what is that? Is that a half a face cord? I guess that's what it is, which turns out to be 1/6 of a cord. A seasoned wood business is what we have. A seasoned wood basically means the wood is under 20% moisture content. That's how we define it. Has nothing to do with age, has nothing to do with how gray the wood is, doesn't have anything to do with what the sound is of it. Yeah, those are all factors in trying to determine whether a wood is seasoned or not. But you can't tell it simply by knocking 2 pieces of wood together for a hollow sound or for a bowling pin sound. You have to you have to split it open, check the moisture content of the wood, and the under 20% is what we define as fully seasoned wood. So that's what we sell. Now, our seasoned wood is primarily sold in smaller quantities, not the large quantities that you get from greenwood. The seasoned wood business would work if you had enough real estate to be able to keep the wood, process the wood, and let it sit and let it season there. And there's different ways you can season it. Now, you can either pile it all in one pile, which requires some material handling equipment, or you can stack it. Now, stacking takes up time and an effort, and there are a couple people out there to saying, don't stack it, just go ahead and dump it, and dump a pile of it and pull it from there after it's sat for a while. Now, you can probably let it sit for a year and a half, and that's the way the seasoning should occur. And there's some question about whether the seasoning is just as good in a pile as it is in a stack. And I don't know. I'll take their word for it. However, I'll tell you about us. We rent a space which is on a residential lot, a residential area, off of actually a farming area. And it's right at the entrance of a property. And I told my landlady that we would have stacked wood from a visual standpoint. And she appreciated having that rather than a pile sitting there. She said she didn't want a thing looking as a pile, but to be honest with you, our wood, the rounds that you have to split are in a pile, and it looks nasty. To be honest with you, I have to be able to clean that up. So the wood, when we split it and we process it, will be stacked. And we're in the middle of a farm. There's a lot of wind, a lot of sun shine on it, and it seasons rather quickly. And the size that we split it smaller We split it about that big, and to be honest, right, it was the be honest thing, but our wood seasons so fast when we split it that small that it pays me from turnover standpoint to be able to take it and stack it in that way. I can't pile it. I just can't because it's not conducive to the relationship I have with my landlady. So I just wanted to make sure I bring that up because it is another monkey wrench in the equation. Hmm. Our source of wood. Our source of wood comes from many different directions. I often get phone calls from people say, hey, I got some wood in the back. We got a tree came down. Can you come and get it? So we get that for free. But we have to often buck it up or take it out and put it in our dump trailer. I do get wood from, and to be honest, I have a difficult time being on a timely basis with getting that wood out of people's property because we have to buck it up there. Because we can't take it in large sizes. We can't take it by a log length greater than 16 inches. And I'm not all that keen of doing the processing and bucking up the wood at people's houses. However, on that note, I do also get wood from a tree service company, actually 2 tree service companies. And we have an arrangement with one tree service company, which is Specialty Tree. And you have seen them on our channel before, where they have provided us with 4 face cords in our dump trailer. And they process it on their Cord King processor, which is already processed at 16-inch lengths. And all we have to do is resplit it because it's often made for boiler wood, the way that they have it processed on their processor. Now, is it worth it? I pay $175 for 4 face cords. And I believe it's worth it because my time and effort is probably worth that in order to take a log that we'd have to buy anyway at probably $100 a cord. We have to buy that there and then take the time and effort to be able to buck it up and then split it. And of course, resplitting is something we would have to consider in terms of the time. So in my mind, and the way I put the pencil to the paper, is it's worth me spending $175 per 4 face cords to be able to resell it. So, and when we look at the bundle wood, if we split it up and resplit it into bundle wood, what we make for our bundle wood is well over $1,000 a cord is what we make. So, or what we realize. However, on the bundle wood, we'd have to sell 180 cords of wood to match 600 cords of what they would get at $300 a cord. But can we do that with one firewood stand? No, we can't. Is there something wrong with the way that we run our business? Some would say yes, but I'd say no, there's nothing wrong with the way we run our business. Is there something wrong with the way that you run your business? Some would say yes. I say, I don't know. It's up to you. What do you want? To be honest, it's easy to be able to see some of these other YouTube channels that are doing gangbusters out there. And we really appreciate them being transparent in their business and business operation, what they do. And very, very motivating and inspirational, some of these YouTube channels. And to be honest with you, I have to give a shout out to Russ from Willie's Firewood because he says something at the end of almost all his videos, not quite all of them, but almost all of them, that has really struck home with this old guy. And he says, do something every day. And I tell you what, there are times I just want to sit and do nothing. But he's right. do something every day. A little bit goes a long way. A little bit every day goes a long way. So Russ, thank you very much for your words of wisdom. That has made the difference for us. And actually, it's made the difference for us in terms of when we're able to enjoy life as well. But how we enjoy life is being able to meet our goals and expectations. Now, what are the expectations of our firewood business? And I would love to be a big, huge business. I would love to do 600 cords a year. Could I do it? Yeah, I probably could, but I won't. That's not the way we're going to be running our business. We're going to be doing it. We're just going to be plodding along. We're going to enjoy ourselves. Danny's going to be able to enjoy his time without any pressure on him to produce. This is more therapy, if anything, for Danny and for myself, with the hopefully put a little money in the bank to be able to do some things. But there are some costs associated with running a business. One of those costs we have is insurance. Our insurance costs are running about $270 a month between our auto insurance that we use for our letter truck and for our business insurance for liability. I went and talked to my insurance agent and I said, hey, look, this is really driving me out of business. I really driving all my profits. And he says, well, you know what? If you have any claim or anybody that decides they want to sue you, there goes your business anyway. So I said, yeah, but I don't want to be insurance poor. But you know what? That's kind of what's going on. The insurance, we basically have to hit a cord a month in order to pay for that insurance. That's kind of the way the trade-off runs. So that's what you have to look at in terms of your business insurance and all that. How can you generate enough income to be able to offset those costs? Anyway, those are a few thoughts I had about the firewood business. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate you joining us. And until next time, we'll catch you later. Bye.